start recording. Let me do my intro. Hello and welcome to the Hack My Age podcast. For the next hour, we are talking with biohacker and anti-age entrepreneur Magdalena Groselj on her biohacking techniques to look and feel younger than her chronological age. Originally an economist, Magdalena has been working in the beauty and anti-aging business for the last 30 years. I know, do the math. It doesn't make sense, doesn't seem possible when you look at her. But she started as a representative for one of the largest French luxury goods company, Christian Dior, for the Adriatic and Balkan area in Slovenia at the beginning of the 90s during the fall of Yugoslavia. So then she moved on to represent so many other brands, big brands, including Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Estee Lauder, Gucci, just to name a few. So eventually Magdalena created her own personal care company and brand in 3 countries with retail stores that are similar to the cosmetics company Sephora. So now at age 55, she's got a lot of knowledge during this journey, self-experimenting on what works and what doesn't, and she's just hacking her age along the way. And I'm really excited to introduce you to her. We recently connected on Instagram, and after I scrolled through her feed and observed what she's doing and posting, I felt she got a pretty good grasp on what the science is telling us. And like me, she seems to be experimenting with what she finds on herself. And I thought we could compare some notes, invite you guys along, and you guys can ask your burning questions at any time and on why she doesn't look her age whatsoever. So like her handle name on Instagram, Magdalena Secrets, we want to know what are Magdalena's secrets. So without further ado, let's meet Magdalena. Welcome.
So welcome everybody. Some of people inform me that they will be a little bit late because they are working or whatever. So I'm really happy that they will join even maybe later. Thank you so much, Zora, to inviting me, because this is actually my first, let me say, public introduction regarding longevity and anti-aging. I had, before in cosmetic business, some introductions, some meetings, whatever, but never so far in longevity and anti-aging. So this is like my, how to say?
The view.
Yeah, exactly, the view. So I'm very happy that you gave me the opportunity to introduce my secrets, because I think they are really mine. I am working on them, for a few years now, or maybe even decades. But before I didn't know, I am working on that. Only now I found out that actually I'm doing certain things since ever. And now when we are talking about anti-aging and longevity, maybe last 10 years more, because before this was all about healthy food and nothing else, at least in our country. So now I see that these things really work. So I would like to take opportunity to share with you, because there are some magic formulas, and I think everybody can apply, everybody can afford. And this is the most important thing. I have to mention, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a dermatologist. So I would like to tell and explain certain things simple way. And I think this is important because the majority of people don't understand the let me say the formulas and language of scientists. I'm the same person, I try to study a lot, but when it is too complicated, then I go to find something more simple, because I would like to understand very easily, quickly, and then try to apply. Because I am a real biohacker and I have no fear. I am very brave, and I decide for everything, because I trust to scientists. I trust to people who research. They are not just anybody's, So if they say, this is the result, this works, so I go for it, I'm never asking, oh my God, what if happened this? What if happens that? No, I just go for it. So I would like to explain very simple way, and I think everybody agrees. So don't ask me too much about ingredients, about formulas, about researches, because I want to be very simple and short.
Can you tell us, when did you start becoming interested in in sort of reversing aging or trying to stay, keep your youth? Or when did this start? Or were you ill at some point and you needed to?
No, not at all. I was never ill. Actually, I was always in the greatest shape, I think. But since I was a little girl, I always wanted to look attractive, to have nice dresses, to feel, how to say, nice girl that everybody will notice. And because also I was interested in beautiful things, in women who were taking care of themselves. This was just in me, and also my mom was always taking care of herself. So also my sister is taking care of herself. So it runs in the family. And I think we are just born with this feeling. I can say this for myself. For sure. Then, when I was getting older, for me, makeup was always, like necessary tool. I was putting my makeup on since I was in a high school. I was living in a communistic country at that time, Yugoslavia, and this was a little bit strange, but I was very stubborn. My father was not satisfied with it, but that was me. Hello, are we connected?
Yeah, no, I just had to unmute.
Yeah, okay. So I was stubborn and makeup was the part of me. So this was my image since ever. And my first job, which had certain influence regarding the image and appearance, was when I was a student. I started to work as a stewardess, and there was a dress code. There was a makeup code. We had to be attractive. We had to be beautiful. We had to take care of ourselves because in front of the passengers, you were the one standing there in the middle of the plane. And so it began, I think, actually when I was a student with being flying attendant at Adria Airways. But then my first job I got, it was actually when I made my diploma. It was immediately the job of area manager for Christian Dior. And that was for sure a dream job because, sorry, which girl wouldn't want to work for the top name brand in, cosmetics and perfume business. So I learned a lot. And of course, again, number one thing was how to help women to look attractive with additional makeup, with skincare, how to take care of their skin to look younger. And everything was going this direction 10 years. And then I got opportunity to open my own company with a business partner, and I immediately decided. So we started with retail shops and cosmetic salons, and this journey took me 20 long years. And 3 years ago, I decided to finish with this, to sell the company and started, let me say, with something what can brings me not only joy, but also benefits. Because when we get, let me say, when we are coming near to 40s, I think we notice that we start aging. When we look ourselves in the mirror, we still feel fine. At least I can tell for myself. I never had any problems with health or energy or whatever. But you can, see a little wrinkles are coming. The skin is not so elastic anymore. And then only you realize you start aging. Only, I believe, people who have certain issues with their health, maybe, they think others. But with me was when I looked and I noticed some wrinkles, then I'm getting step by step older. So I was taking care, of course, more with some health procedures, some, let me say, anti-aging procedures regarding skincare programs and so on, because at 40s, let me say, we are still younger than now at 55, when we women are already in menopause and many things changed. Then my next very important, let me say, event or issue in my life was when I met my partner, Joe. I think he's also here online with us.
Oh.
Uh,
Hey, Joe. Joe also looks awesome. I've seen him on Instagram.
yes,
Younger than he is.
he is, because we are birds of a feather. We are really very similar on the same level regarding how to say, our approaches toward longevity and anti-aging. But what I want to say, our first meeting was not romantic meeting, this like blind date. It was a kind of, you will not believe it, but we were talking hours about anti-aging. And actually, Joe, at that time, I was 47 and he was 45. He's 2 years younger, chronologically younger. He was telling me all about bioidentical hormone therapy. And actually, I heard it so in details for the first time. So he's the one. I decided to go for it as well, even I was not in menopause yet. But I
Lovely.
said I always want to be one step before, one step ahead aging. I'm always running, and I said, catch me if you can. And so far, I think I'm very good at it. I know that with every year, I have to be faster and faster, but let's see how these, let me say, how these things will go on.
So how did
And
you get into the bioidentical hormones? This is one of your secrets, or is this one thing that you're trying, even if you weren't in menopause or premenopause, why did you start taking it?
because I was studying it, and I see that hormones plays the most important role, especially in women in menopause, because when hormones come into disbalance, and I think that our body goes to decline. So I think it's very important. It also influences on our energy, on our skin, on the functioning of our body. That's very important. And especially women, when they stop with their cycle, I think they lose something. Their body lose like fuel. So we have to apply, we have to do everything what is possible to get back to balance. And
Mhm.
I said, I didn't notice anything, but I was reading so much that I knew what will come with the next step when I will come to 50. I was 47 at that time. So I had a contact with this anti-aging doctor immediately the next day. I just couldn't wait. And she said, yes, you can start. We will see what's your hormone level. I did all the tests. And then she helped me to find a real formula which helped me to balance these hormones, because I can tell you I'm 55 and I really don't know what actually means to be menopausal. I never had any problems because all of my friends are telling me they are changing their moods. They have problems with their skin. They have problems with their metabolism. They have problems with their energy. They are depressive. They are anxious. Such a, only negative things. But I can assure you, I never, never, ever um, found out so far what does it mean to be menopausal, because I really don't have these symptoms. And I'm sure, pretty sure that number one factor here which helped me is for sure bioidentical hormone therapy.
Mhm. So you've been on that for what,
8 years now.
Okay.
Of course, this formula is changing, because when I was 51, I lost my periods, and I didn't lose it because it was like a time, but my gynecologist, thanks God, she's gynecologist, not just anti-aging doctor. She's a great, great specialist on this, because she is actually a student of Dr. Terry Hertog, and we know who that Dr. Hertog is. He's the greatest specialist on hormones on the world. So she's really very good, and she said, tell me please, is it important to you to still have periods? And I said, what does it mean? Is it makes any difference if you have periods or not? She said, actually not, it's your decision, because with hormones, we can balance everything with hormone gels. And I said, okay. then who wants to have periods? No woman wants to have periods. So I said, oh, actually, I don't want to have periods anymore if everything will stay the same or even better. So I went for it, and it's a perfect life without periods.
And you don't have any side effects from the bioidenticals. There's no risk at all.
Uh, I know that there are pros and cons, Many doctors are saying pros and many doctors are saying cons. I can just tell you out of my experience, there was never a doubt from my side, because even, I mean, it's my body, I should be concerned, but I never was concerned, and I can tell you that I feel the best ever of my life. Every year I say the same. So I'm sure it's a bioidentical hormone therapy.
You're, you said you have a sister.
I have a sister.
Is she also on bioidenticals? Is she older?
No, she's 7 years younger than me, but I think that Barbara is a little bit different from me. Maybe she's not that courageous. I was always, wanted to try everything just to get the better results. I always wanted to keep this youthfulness, whatever is new on the market, I want to try. And I would like to talk about this today because I think that I really tried more or less everything.
Yeah. So tell me, okay, I have a couple of questions. If you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Got my own. I want to say, what do you think are the three biggest things that, or the three things that have the biggest impact on your aging process, like slowing it down? I think bioidentical sounds like it's one, no?
Yes. I will tell you maybe more than one, maybe more than three, maybe four. It's for sure food intake. I have the same dress size all of my life. This is also some important information, I think, because
Wait, did you
even
have kids?
I have two kids, which are all grown up, of 24 and 22 years old, two sons.
So you gave birth
So,
to them. You got pregnant.
sorry?
You gave birth.
Yeah. They
Okay.
are my real
Dress
kids.
changed. Size changed.
I'm not a stepmother. I'm not a stepmother. I'm a mother. And I can tell you, even when I delivered the babies, when I go out after 3 days after the delivery, I had the same 47 kilos, and no doctor could
What?
believe how is this
Oh my
possible.
God.
But I can tell you, even at that time, actually, I was intermittent fasting. I just didn't know the word because
Yeah.
I was never eating after 6 o'clock p.m.,
Why?
even when I was pregnant, because I wanted to keep my weight. Really, I'm honest.
Is that like a Slovenian secret, like your grandma said? Or like where did you get the idea that not eating after 6 would help
I
you
think it
make that?
was also because, I was not used to that my stomach is growing, and with additional food, I didn't feel well because then you hard to breathe, you hard to move, you don't even have only full stomach. It's also a baby growing inside. So I didn't feel well. Actually, maybe it was just the wish of the body. But I feel well when I stopped eating at 6 o'clock. But that's the way I could keep my weight,
Wow.
So
We've
food
never
intake
survived
for
this
me, it's very, very important. And this is, I think, also the number one thing for the majority of people,
day.
because, obesity is one of the greatest threats for illnesses.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud that I still have the same weight, even I'm 55. Even my gynecologist is always asking, but please tell me, how is this possible? Because in menopause, all the women get at least plus 5 kilos. Can you please tell me your formula? How are you doing it? And I will share with you this secret, which is very simple and everybody can do it. I am checking my weight every morning. Some of people are saying, oh, you are so narcissistic or whatever. I say, no, it's not this. I just want to keep the same weight because that's the way to stay healthy. I'm 100% sure. I'm checking every day. And if I see that I gained half a kilo or 1 kilo, then I may be more careful another 2 days. And that's it. And that there is my weight, 46, 47 max, and that's it. And I'm very happy because I feel really great. I have full of energy. Intermittent fasting is helping me staying young, I would say. And I am not having any sugar at home. I never had, I think, no white flour as well. So I can say that in my kitchen, there are more or less only healthy things. That's why also my younger son, who is still living with me, it's not so happy. He said, oh mom, I don't like it. Your food is just too healthy. This is not for me. He's 22. He needs to build his body now, to get muscles, and of course you need loads of carbohydrates. And on my menu there are more or less no carbohydrates.
Okay, so very low sugar impact. Your blood sugar, have you ever tested your blood sugar, glucose?
Yeah, I'm doing tests regularly, twice a year. This is also something I would like to emphasize. People don't know because they don't test themselves. When they test, maybe it's already too late because body doesn't show immediately there is something wrong, that DNA is maybe damaged or whatever. But when it shows, can be maybe even too late. So I suggest really everybody just maybe to take these tests once a year. I cannot follow these questions. Should I answer to somebody? Because I'm now in my mood, I want to tell so many things.
Yeah, there's one thing. The one thing Joseph has mentioned that's not really true, what you said.
What is not true?
What Maida is forgetting to say, we regularly stuff ourselves with food, but as she says, when we love to dine outside and get invited by friends and invite friends, but it's just that the next morning you check your weight, and the truth is we all eat too much, and Maida is just really, really disciplined. So it's not true at all that, because the way she talks is just like she's this angel never eating anything else. That's not true at all.
No, I haven't told everything yet. Wait. There are cheating days, and this is very important for everybody to know. Cheat days are a must.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, that cheat days are very, very, very important in my opinion, because otherwise it's like because of your metabolic system. Because if you eat every day the same amount of calories and the same food, it's like your metabolic system will collapse. That's for sure. And you talk about that with Maida a lot, so it's like just to.
The only problem I have with cheat days is that I hate the word cheat. It's, to me. Yeah. I don't label it, because when my clients label it cheat day, there's a lot of guilt and negativity surrounding it.
Yes, you are completely right. We are telling so because this is written in the literature, that's why. Otherwise, for me, it's a pleasure day, not a cheat day, because, I could eat everything.
So what does Magda does eat on a cheat day?
Sorry?
How often does that happen?
Now when we are in quarantine, honestly said, I haven't been in restaurant for ages. That's a problem, Otherwise, we were going with Joe a few times a month, maybe 2-3 times. And okay, it was always a healthy food. But at the end, it was always a good dessert, And if the restaurant had like this healthy dessert, I would go for healthy dessert. But desserts are not healthy in general. So we could afford, yes, from time to time also desserts, because I love sweets. I really love. But I love to look healthy and awesome even more. So my mom is always saying she's a good cook. She bakes a lot and then she prepares something. And I said, Mom, I'm not eating this. And she said, but how can you live? Such a poor woman, you are suffering so much, you can't eat these things. I said, no, Mom, I'm suffering if I see myself in the mirror obese then would be a suffer. Can you understand this? And she can't understand,
Yeah, well, that's your mom, right? It's hard
Yeah,
to
all
actually.
moms are the same.
Speaking of sweets and desserts, we do have one question that was sent in earlier asking, she says, we all know that diets affect the condition of our skin. So how does sugar and caffeine consumption affect collagen production, skin health, etc.? We know you're not a dermatologist. It's okay. But let's.
But I know one thing that sugar, it's just the worst enemy of our body, of our cells, and it's the best friend of aging. So I would say that we should be very careful. I mean, if you ask me, I would say no sugar, no simple carbohydrates. It now depends how disciplined can people be, and if they want to, decide to go this direction. My direction is clear, I'm very black and white. For me, there is nothing in the middle. When I decide, I go for it, and that's why I always have results. Without a certain way to go, without certain discipline, without certain willingness, I think you cannot reach results. Because with food, you have to be disciplined in a way. I think that sugar is really look, I maybe it's the best to say like this. I'm professionally, how to say, my professional deformation is when I see somebody, I immediately check the skin, because I was all of my life, working. Your skin is beautiful, trust me.
But it can be
And
better,
that's
right? We can always
immediately.
improve. So we want to know more. Keep going.
No, I want to say this, Joe. It's very important to say that when you see beautiful skin for me is like a synonym for health, for taking care, because skin is the largest organ and it shows what are the habits of the person. If there are a lot of wrinkles, it can mean you are not drinking a lot enough. You are maybe a smoker. You are eating a junk food. You are eating. If you have acne, pimples, you are eating too much sweets. Too many sweets. So I can read immediately. Somebody's face, the skin. So this is also how to say. I get an impression of the person, how this person takes care of his or her health. Okay, there are certain cases, younger people, they have problems with their skin because hormones are disbalanced and so on, and also a little bit older people. But I'm 100% sure if you cut all the sweets, if you cut the sweet drinks, if you cut the alcohol, the cigarettes, you can have perfect skin. And of course, taking care of the healthy food, the food intake.
And don't forget the stress. Stress is a big thing.
Yeah, but you know how stress is something which is there all of our life. And it's just important how we learn to respond, on it. This is then another thing, I think. We have to learn how to meditate, how to relax. But otherwise, I think it's all about food, I would say, for the skin, a lot about food.
And so as I understand, in terms of the sugar, sugar produces the advanced glycation end product. So it binds to the collagen, the protein, it kind of folds it, and then it just produces the wrinkles. So that's exactly my understanding is what's happening in terms of sugar and your wrinkles and the skin. So what is it that the follow-up to that question was, so what is your sort of beauty routine for your skin? How are you, other than food and drinking water, what else are you doing?
Water only, and tea. Only this. I don't drink anything else. I don't drink even orange juice, fresh orange juice, maybe lemonade, but only in the morning. I hardly toast with alcohol, but sometimes there is a certain event. You just can't say no. Maybe I can toast it, have few drinks, but that's all. I really, maybe I am, how to say, lucky enough because I don't like alcohol. I never liked it. It just didn't how to say, didn't feel well in my stomach, you know. And also I have never drank coffee. So for me, coffee is like a negative thing, especially because, you know, it puts you on too much adrenaline. And since I was listening to Professor Matthew Walker, when he was explaining the effects of coffee, I mean,
He's
that
a
it's
sleep scientist, by the way.
such a long time it needs, you know, that influences your how to say, your senses. It can be more than 12 hours, you know. So for me, I'm happy, I'm the lucky one because I don't need this. I say no for alcohol, I say no for coffee.
Okay. And so what else is, so the coffee, imagine, is good because I guess it doesn't disrupt your sleep. Beauty sleep, I guess, is maybe one of your hacks, or are you not into, is not, you just beautiful?
My sleeping patterns are actually not due to these anti-aging protocols. I think this is like the only pillow which might be not due to the protocol. But I will say, so far I was reading everything and trying to do it better. I just came up with how to say, with the awareness that I cannot change it. And obviously my body needs 6 hours and that's it, because I'm full of energy. I'm never tired. I'm never sleepy. And I think obviously it's enough for me, you know.
Well, actually, Magdalena, I'd like to introduce you to Amy Bender, who's also in here, and she's a sleep scientist. So we're going to have
Great.
I did mention to you about her, and we are having a Zoom session with her on the following week. So you guys
Great.
interested in?
I'm all in because, you know, I might find another formula, another secret. We will see.
Yeah. So there was another question that someone had earlier as well about peptides, since we're on the skin track.
So I would like maybe to have one frame to tell you what I think it's important in this anti-aging process to go on max, because I'm always going on max regarding anti-aging. We said already food intake, intermittent fasting, then exercising. This is very important because I do it every day as well.
Because that means so many things to so many people.
What do you mean? Exercising.
What do you mean by exercise? Like, let's get specific.
Exercise for me is that we take every day, at least 5 times a week, every day an hour for our body to do different exercises for each parts of the body with weightlifting. And then that we take another half an hour to have a walk every day. I'm not running, but I love quick walking, fast walking, and I love hiking. This is what I do. I don't do anything else. Maybe sometimes cycling, but I don't do additional exercise. And I think I'm pretty good in keeping my shape to be good, you know, at my 50, 55, I'm very satisfied. I'm noticing that there is a little bit of decline in muscles. But as I told you before, then I do a little bit more, you know, because I want to be faster than aging is. So so far, so good.
Interesting. So you've got some weight training, you've got some, you know, the walks. I don't know if so. You sounds like maybe you have, that would be something more gentle or like a low walk in nature. And do you have any high intensity exercises at all, getting the heart rate up, or does that happen when you're doing the weights? Or
so far not, but I had trainings with my personal fitness trainer. We stopped cooperating, how to say, let me say 4 years ago, because I thought I don't need him anymore. You know, I could do these exercises alone. And at that time, maybe I had a little bit of pains in my joints because he was pushing, you know, with the heavy weights. And I think it was a little bit too much for my body because I'm very tiny with 46 kilos. And when I started to do my own exercises, this pain has gone. And actually, I feel much better. I do the things my body likes, and I don't really like to push my body too much. I don't like this.
You
I
don't
want to
sweat.
enjoy.
Do you sweat?
Sorry?
Do you like sweating or not like sweating?
Actually, I have a problem with sweating. Even if I work too much, I never sweat too much. I don't know why.
You mean your body's not actually
Sweating.
sweat mechanism. What happens
Yeah.
when you go in a sauna?
Sorry?
When you go into a sauna?
Yes, of
You
course.
sweat?
Yes. Then everything is okay. But when I'm doing exercising, I actually in general I don't sweat too much. I don't have this problem.
You
Some
can
of
fold your
people-
exercise clothes and put them back in the closet. So. You don't want to see mine. My clothes stink.
So these were two things. The third thing would be, we said already, bioidentical hormones, right?
Yeah.
And the fourth thing is also one of my favorite pillar. These are supplements.
Yeah.
And supplements there are so many, I don't know where to start. Maybe
yes. We're supplement junkies.
I need to see what's the time. For me, it was very important, and Andres also knows this doctor. Her name is Dr. Sandra Kaufman. I met her last year in the States at the conference, and she really made a great impact on me because her approach was something what I was looking for, what I said at the beginning, what is important for me? We are ordinary people. We are not scientists. We would like to get a simple explanation that we can apply this, into our life, into our protocols. So Sandy is the right person for it. She wrote this book, Kaufman Protocol. You can pay for her app on if you buy, perhaps explain just a second.
Yes, it's the Kaufman Protocol.
More because many people don't really know where to.
Yeah, no, she's actually, I know her, and I will have to get her on a podcast too. And she is great in anti-aging, and she's going to be in a conference next week, I think, the anti-aging conference. I can't remember the name.
Yes. Faraz is organizing. Yes. Exactly. I met him as well. So actually, I think they're connected. Yes, they work together.
Yeah.
So Sandy was presenting her book and her protocol, and it's so easy. This book is in two parts. First part is telling about why we're aging. We are aging because our cells age. Very simple. So what's the solution? We have to do something that the cells stop aging. That's the first part of the book. And the second part of the book, she's introducing 15 the most important molecular agents, supplements, which can help to stop aging or maybe slow down aging in the cell. And that's it, very simple. So if you buy the app, there you have 3 different approaches, 3 different target groups regarding anti-aging protocols. You just put on your data and you get the protocol. You get which supplements you should eat. She explains about each supplement. She even gives a link where you can buy and what's the price. It's perfect. Can it be more easy? No way. So I was taking a lot of supplements Sandy is talking about, but there were few I never heard before. That's a little bit strange because I was so in it. But in Europe, I think it's not so much written about astaxanthin. Do you know astaxanthin?
No, who? Let's say that again.
Astaxanthin.
No.
Astaxanthin, or how?
Astaxanthin. Sorry, astaxanthin. Yes.
Pronunciation. Yes, this became my favorite supplement. Then she was explaining about carnosine. It's also one of my favorites because they directly influence skin aging and directly influence cell aging. And I'm just Oh, there are so many things, Joe, to say. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a question about DHEA, which we'll get into after you finish. Yeah, if you can give us your thoughts on that after you're done with our supplement. I mean, we're talking about which other supplements you
So
take.
I would really suggest, and this is already in the next pillar of skincare protocols, you know, to apply serums and creams, that with this, we have to, this is a must really, to take every day also astaxanthin and carnosine, and pterostilbene is a great antioxidant. Melatonin is also one of my favorites. Do you know maybe Dr. Frank Schallenberger? He was really explaining such a great benefits of melatonin. So these are all my favorite supplements.
What was the second one? You said carnitine, astaxanthin, melatonin.
Carnosine.
Oh, carnosine. And what was the other one you said before melatonin?
Pterostilbene. Shall I write?
Yeah, write it down because I'm not sure I can understand. And what does that one do for you? This is the youth preserving protocol. And do you buy that supplement separately, or is it part of a?
Yes, I'm just, trying to find the right dosage. Okay, also that it's not the most expensive one, because, I pay a fortune for my anti-aging protocols. So pterostilbene is actually like kind of sister of resveratrol. Resveratrol became so famous, I think, because of Dr. David Sinclair. Yeah. Yes, but I think as I read all these studies, it's not really active very long in the body. Mm-hmm. And pterostilbene is much longer, but it's completely the same effect. So I changed the resveratrol for pterostilbene, and it's also very good news because it's not that expensive. Mm-hmm. So that's why pterostilbene, I think it's also a great thing.
And where did you get that one from? It's a European brand, or what brand is that?
I think that I'm ordering via, it is Nusa Pure. We're right, wait a second.
Nusa Pure.
Oh, sorry.
Just Pure?
No, sorry.
Nusa Pure, Nusapure.
Actually, it's a supplement from the States. Mm-hmm. And I'm really taking 150 milligrams. Mm-hmm. I think it's very strong.
Well, one thing that's good about the Kaufman protocols in this app, you can kind of plug in your data, and it gives you some information about how much and what you should be taking, and
everything is there. It's a good one. Simple, really.
Because this is like, now we're getting to like self-medicating. We may be, I would always recommend someone to please talk to someone, your nutritionist or your doctor or your health coach or your herbalist, anyone who knows a little bit more about this stuff before you just kind of take it. So, but it is always interesting to know what your protocol is. And you also started spermidine, right?
Yes, this is, I think that somebody asked me what is, latest thing I started, and it gives me additional excitement. I can say it's Primidine, this spermidine supplement, which actually helps us to clean the body of senescent ill cells, which we know cause inflammation, decline, aging. So we have to clean the body with autophagy, and this is a great supplement if somebody maybe cannot intermittent fast. I think it can be a great supplement to start with. Mm-hmm. So this is something now I am really eager to find out after a month or two, maybe some additional beneficial results.
Yeah, I'm just finishing my second month, and I'll do definitely 3. And I just heard a great podcast with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who's a biochemist and biohacker and everything. And she's giving some interesting information about spermidine and the benefits and the superiority to resveratrol. So if you guys are interested in spermidine, I've got a great podcast with someone who is producing this stuff, and she's giving a discount. So I'll put that. Actually, I'll send you guys an email too. And it's if you go to Primeadine, primeadine.com. Primeadine, she couldn't call it spermidine because, well, that name is taken. And it is a really great source. And if you use the code ZORA, ZORA, you can get 20% off. So I'll let you guys know. So far, my results are good. I'm measuring everything. And I wanted to get back to the if you're finished about this, to get to the DHEA question, and also not to forget about the peptide question. I keep forgetting about that one.
DHEA, I was taking maybe at the beginning, but I think I didn't need it because my lab test just shown I have too high levels, so I stopped with it. I think this is like a man hormone. So Joe is taking it regularly every day, but I don't. So this is all what I can say about this hormone. I don't need it. I would maybe only mention last time when I was listening to the podcast with Leslie about how to get rid of gray hair. I can say that I remembered she was mentioning glutathione. This is something I don't have on my list, and this is something it's a must, to add. Glutathione is definitely something everybody should take.
Yes.
To mention not to have gray hair, and I'm very happy to tell you that actually I have to do the right things because I don't have gray hair, maybe one here and one there, but that's it. And at 55, that's great, especially when Leslie said, gray hair means you are aging. This is the sign of aging. And it's not just, beauty thing or not. It shows you that maybe something is not okay in your body, that you should do something to get the right balance in your microbiome gut or whatever to change this. So I'm doing for sure the right things because I don't have gray hair, and I'm very happy about it.
That was a great podcast. You can I didn't expect her to say actually reverse your gray hair.
Yeah.
She's hacked it. She's another biohacker. So you guys got to go listen to that on the Hack My Age podcast. Go and scroll down. It's all about gray hair. So let's move on to. I want to go to because we only have 10 more minutes left, and I want to make.
No, I have so much to tell still.
We'll go part 2, but I promised someone I'd ask you.
Okay, so I told you about Kaufman Protocol. This is something what I deeply believe in, and for sure it works, and it's very simple and everybody can apply and understand and so on. The other side of my protocol, which is a very important part, is Peptides Protocol. I can tell you that things in my life were just, one door opened and then another door opened, and just the right people came into my life at the right time, especially this part of anti-aging part of my life. So I was studying peptides very well because last few years there are many articles and researches about them on the internet. And then I bought even, but I didn't know actually how it works. So I went to the conference to Stockholm last year. And I met there Professor Dr. Vladimir Havinson. He's a Russian scientist, the father of these Russian peptides. He already started in ex-Soviet Union, working on it and have a lot of clinical trials done. So he explained everything in this conference. And I met there Dr. Bill Lawrence, who also had a speech. And he was excited how much I know about, this anti-aging stuff. And he said, would you like to be the part of our clinical trial for these Russian peptides? We have now for a few years in Atlanta, and we would like to do clinical trial in the States because Americans don't believe much, to Russian studies and so on. I was so happy that day when he invited me. So I really started with this protocol, and now I am on Peptides Protocol for 2 years. I love peptides. Everybody who knows me they know that I love orally taken. I love also serums, you know, for skincare protocol. So peptides are something the best what can happen to your body if you put into the body or apply on your skin, because peptides are short chains of amino acids. This is like a natural part of our body, you know. And we know that aging means that it's a problem on three levels: metabolism, inflammation, and mitochondria. So metabolism it slows down. Then inflammation increases. Mitochondria energy also is in a decrease. So peptides could, I think, reduce here this aging in all these three levels, because they tie with DNA and try to repair and rebuild and regenerate, rejuvenate all these damages, because we know we can discover that something is not the same as we were youthful when we are 40 plus or 50 plus, because this damage is accumulating in our body, you know, through senescent cells and so on. But peptides can actually repair our damaged DNA. So I tried. And how now to know that they really work, you know? You have to do this test, mutilation test, which shows your biological age. My biological age 2 years ago was the same as my chronological age was. I was shocked because I was supposed to be 40. But then this Dr. Lawrence asked me one question. Have you been under stress lately? I said, actually, I was. I had, you know, certain period of my life. I got divorced and so on. This was quite a traumatic trauma period. And of course, it obviously, as you mentioned before, stress is very important. It ages us enormously. And I think that's why my methylation test shown that biological age was the same as chronological age was, you know. But I was disappointed because I feel great, you know. That's what it's a problem. People think everything is okay with them. They feel great, but maybe inside of the body, the cells are already damaged. And when they find out, it can be too late because illness comes. So after a year of being on this protocol, these are natural peptides, because I was interested in natural ones. There are also synthetical ones, but I think natural are better.
Yeah, Joe says that they're natural peptides from Danish cattle, and that this doctor was developing peptides for the Russian army, and especially the space crews and submarine crews, because they were aging faster. So I guess that's why he wanted to become something effective.
That's the story, yeah.
How did you take them? In what form?
They are ordinary capsules. We were told that they are very that the absorption is between 75 to 85%. What I think it's very great information. So I am just taking, you know, 10 different every month, because there are 21 different. For each organ in the body, there is a peptide. They tie to the DNA of this organ, and they start with reparation, with rejuvenation.
Wait, you take 21 pills, 21 peptide pills a day, or what is this?
No. I take 10 different ones, but altogether there are 21.
10 a day.
So 10 different ones per month. This is a protocol, but protocol made for me, you know, because you have to know, do you have any problems with your heart? Do you have any problems with your stomach? And there are peptides for stomach, and there are peptides for heart, and so on, you know. So if there is certain problem, you take more of this certain peptide. So the protocol,
like a tailor-made peptide, tailor-made for you. This is not just a general thing. This doctor.
No. It's a peptide made for me. Joe's protocol is different, you know. So I'm taking now this. I don't feel any different, because I always feel the best ever possible. But this biological age test shown me that I got 4 additional years. I mean, I'm now 4 years biologically younger in just 1 year. And this is for me the huge information,
Mhm.
In general, this clinical trial shown that I think the approximate result could be even 7.5 years,
Mhm.
Maybe I am, not in the group to get to be reduced to reduce my biological age more than 4 years. But can you imagine if I go this way every year to get additional 4 years, when I will be in 10 years 65? Actually, I will be biologically only 25.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I actually met a woman. She started when she was around 60 years and her biological age was 63 years. And in 4 years, her biological age now it's 32. Can you imagine?
Who is
And she
this?
looks great.
Who?
The woman I met at this conference, she's under the protocol for last 4 years.
Oh, for 4 years. And she got how many years?
She had before 63 years biological, but chronologically she was 60. So that means her biological age was older than she was chronologically.
Yeah.
So in 4 years, she reduced her biological age from 63 to I think 33 for
Wow.
30 years. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Did she look any different? Did you see a difference?
I don't know how she looked before, but she had a problems because she lost her husband due to the cancer, and she was completely, under stress, anxiety, depression. She didn't feel well health-wise. I didn't see a picture before, but I can assure you this woman looks just amazing because, I'm a professional. I scanned her skin immediately. She's very tiny like me. She looks perfect. And I saw that she doesn't apply anything. I mean, regarding aesthetic procedures, no Botox, no fillers. I can just say bravo because she looked amazing. And that's for sure because of peptides, I would say, because I'm not sure that she's taking all the other stuff I'm doing,
What are you doing in terms of Botox or fillers or?
Yeah, I think I wanted to mention this, that if you want to add additional value, now I'm have to be very careful because a lot of people are against it. They want to get older natural way. I'm not from this group of people. I was always in cosmetics. I always want to look good, to look young, have youthful appearance, especially now with 55. And I have to say that I support this. Last year at the conference, there was, I have to see what's the name, I have forgotten. Her name was Dr. Gislain Bellon. She's a plastic surgeon and anti-aging doctor. She had a speech at the conference in Cyprus, and I was amazed, finally somebody who put these two things together. I see here is also Dr. Musfaha Burgic with us, I think. She's my great friend. She's a great plastic surgeon. And she's also helping me with this youthful appearance with Botox fillers, also threads. She's one of the greatest ones so far I've met. So I'm doing this regularly, I openly say, because of course you cannot look like this with 55. But we have to say that it cannot be only this, I know many people who apply Botox, who apply fillers, but their skin is not in the best condition because you can see immediately that there is no healthy lifestyle. It has to come also from inside out,
Yeah. And you're not putting Botox and fillers in your butt or your abs either. So your body kind of shows it's not just Botox. We actually have to do a whole other talk on that because that's always very interesting to hear other people's perspective. So I want to wrap up the things that I know that there was one question before we get, I know the one question is I have actually on your peptides, like where do you get them? If somebody wants to follow this protocol and get personalized peptides, what do they do?
I have to maybe I'm too modest. Maybe I have to say that actually I'm also the one who can help with peptides because I've got 2 certificates. I have been training they have trained me in St. Petersburg, the clinic of actually Gerontology Institute, and Clinic of Tree of Professor Havinson and his wife. She's Professor Svetlana Trofimova. She's also a great scientist. So I was there to take these studies to be educated for peptides because I wanted to know because of myself. And now I think I also can help with these protocols because you said before the right way. This cannot be the same for everybody. No, we have to know what are the blood tests. We have to know maybe the history of the family illnesses and so on. But at the end, there are only supplements. There are no side effects, it's not a problem. And people from 35 to 40 years old, they can start with the peptides. Before it's not harmful, but there's, it cannot help you because the organism is too young. Maybe peptides cannot repair anything because there is no rust on your DNA. That's why it should be at least 35 when we really go to this process of aging.
Interesting. Okay, so if anybody's interested in peptides and the protocol and how to get them, then we'll just get in touch with Magdalena. The best way to reach you is on Instagram at Magdalena_secrets or Magdalena's_secrets, MAGDALENAS_secrets. And if you can't remember that, then you just contact me. I'm gonna. If you guys have to go, it's been an hour. Feel free to jump out.
Oh my God! And I have still two pillows of discussion. There is important skincare regime.
We haven't touched that. We're gonna have
another makeup and style. This is also, I'm professional. Without makeup, woman, for me, there is just something missing on her face. This is so important because what we see first, we see with our eyes, we see the face, the hairstyle, and we just get an impression. It doesn't mean that the person is not okay, but you got an impression if the person takes care or not. Only the second impression tells us about how good this person is, how capable it is, how, I don't know, humble she or he is. So for me, the makeup is just something what is so woman-like, it makes.
Well, let's do I think we need a part 2 because I know people are getting antsy.
We have to, because I have so much to tell. You will not get any better specialist on this. Trust me.
Yes. No, very good. So, okay, let's do a part 2. But before we go, I want to just answer the questions on the MSM for collagen synthesis. No need to ask this. Do you have any?
Yes, definitely. That was again Dr. Sandra Kaufman. There was a question at the conference. What would you suggest? What is the best formula to keep going on with the best skin possible? And she gave concrete, very straightforward answer. You have to eat pieces of collagen. And since then, I'm listening to her. I'm taking collagen twice daily, every day since that time. Before I was taking once a day for ages, now maybe for 7-10 years, I don't know. But now I'm taking 2 dosages every day, twice a day, always mix it up with MSM and additional vitamin C, because this is important.
So you take a collagen powder, I'm guessing, right?
Collagen powder and add MSM 1 teaspoon and additional vitamin C. I'm doing this every day, twice a day.
I think we need I think at the email that I'm going to send out to you guys, I'll try to get Magdalena to share some of the brands that she uses as well. And what's, there's so many different formulas as well. When we're going to talk about supplements.
Can I check this? How can you save these questions? Because actually I was not following the questions. I fell so inside, to the thing with all of my heart. So I was not checking the questions. There might be some I haven't even,
I'm following the question.
sorry.
Only one more question that we have, and then you guys can still ask questions if you want. If you want to leave, that's totally fine. I know it's been an hour, but one last question from Jeanette, who says, when to start with supplements and what age? And to preface that, Jeanette, we are having a supplement talk part 2 with a registered dietitian who can also share information with that. So what do you think, Magdalena, is a good time to start with supplements?
I think regarding vitamins and minerals, we have to start when we have a problem. So I suggest go to the lab, do the test, and you will see where you are. So even if you are younger, if you have a deficit, you have to do something to solve the problem. So maybe you are 25, you don't have enough of vitamin D. Of course, you will take it. That's for me completely normal thing. Then maybe some other antioxidants. I also think they are great if you want to delay this aging process. Maybe just not to feel your body so much as I'm doing it, because I'm 55, and my body function is already in a decline. Maybe it's not to start too much too early, because I guess that it influences on the production of your body, certain things, If you apply too many quantities, maybe your body will stop its own production. So I would say test yourself first, and then you will see where you are. And there are many specialists on this. Maybe I'm not really the right person, because I can maybe suggest more to people my age. 50 plus. This is my territory,
Yeah, that's good advice. Absolutely, getting tested. And Kaya has.
But I am 32, and I would say that I would not say like at 18, but I think like taking care of yourself, it starts very early, and it can show also. It's like with my friends, we can show the huge difference turning 30. Like after 30, everything changed, and for instance, my skin, my hair, my figure, everything stayed as it was. With my friends, it went down, but I started taking care of myself, for instance, when I was 19, it's like,
yeah.
So I think it's important that we start not as soon as possible, but like as soon as possible, I would still say, because it's like also when you turn 30, things are not the same as they were when you were 20, for sure. So, and there is also not a magic pill turning 30, and it's like, well, my friends were like, yeah, Kaya, help me now. Of course I can help you for sure, but it's like, I started very early with like different kinds of things, like, so I think it's important to start
you're right. It's absolutely, I think there's never too late. It's always a good idea to take care of your health. My philosophy is always the earlier the better. I mean, after finishing my first course in my master's in gerontology, we find out that childhood experiences, childhood health, childhood wellness has a huge impact on how long you live, on how your health is. And so, if you're unlucky, not born into a family that's places health first, or you're just unlucky to be born in horrible conditions, it's really, sucks. But if you do, then you're just kind of good luck. But when you have control of your own life and you're able to take that, I think the earlier the better, personally. But I am gonna have to let you guys go. Any last questions? You guys can unmute yourself if you want. Ask Magdalena a question. I'm good for another 5-10 minutes, and then I'll have to close this down. And Andres says, thank you so much for your openness and interesting advice.
Oh, Andres, I'm so happy to meet you here, really, because it's quite a while when we seen each other for the last time. Especially these Corona times, huh?
Exactly.
We are companions, at the conferences, anti-aging conferences. I think that Andres and me are the most passionate ones, right? And also my friend Elena, she's here as well. She became actually my best friend, due to these conferences. We met each other, and we knew immediately that that's it, synergy, energy, everything, energy in the air. That was it,
So great.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
so glad
birds
to
of
hear that. Good.
feather.
Yeah, great minds think alike. And I'm so
Yes,
excited for Andres. I'd love to learn more about him and what he does. And I think if you guys have any last questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace. I think we're going to have definitely a part 2 because you haven't even finished the protocol. It's kind of wrapping up what you talked about is when you eat, what you eat, the foods that you put in the body, the foods that you don't put in your body, bioidentical hormones, exercise, supplements, and some of the peptides that we've talked a little bit about. These are some just I think just a small chunk of what you do to reverse aging and to actually slow the whole process down. So I think we're going to have a part 2 because I have a feeling that's not the only bit, right?
There are many things I do. And as I tell you, we didn't come to these last 2 points. As I said, like makeup can do miracles, and also aesthetic procedures, which are really not, how to say, not the ones, go under the knife. You can really do nicely and smoothly, and you can go to work immediately, but you feel much more fresher, youthful.
Oh,
So I
be another.
think that there is still a lot to talk about.
I think, yeah, we'll have a talk on the, deeper dive into supplements, a deeper dive into the finishing of your protocol, a deeper dive into what works, what you biohacked and what didn't work. Beauty in terms of non-invasive treatments. I think that's
Exactly, non-invasive
aesthetics. There's so many great things out there. And I think you and I both tried a lot of things. So I think it'd be great to share notes. I'm going to let you go now because it's time, and we'll definitely do another part 2. Thank you so much to all of you who've attended, who've come, and if you want to connect with Magdalena, please get in touch with her on Instagram is the best way, at Magdalena's with an S at the end, _secrets, right? Like Victoria's Secrets, it's Magdalena's Secrets. You can remember that. If you have any trouble, get in touch with me. And thank you so much, Magdalena, for sharing.
Thank you so much to invite me. It was really greatest pleasure to be with you all, to give me the opportunity to share my experiences.
It's been great. Thank you. Have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever you are.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.